The following is an exclusive presentation of WI Garden Media, the voice of Garden Talk Radio.
Hardscaping, Holly. It is a term that may not be familiar to some of our listeners, but once we get done with this segment, we will all have a better understanding of what hardscaping is and how one may utilize it for their property.
Right. So hardscaping is part of landscaping. And I think a lot of people, when they commonly hear the word landscaping, they think about things like whether it be flowers, shrubbery, trees, greens, greenery, things like that, vegetables, etc. And that is part of landscaping.
Scaping the land.
Right. Yeah. And then that's also softscaping. Hardscaping can be part of landscaping as well, but that's softscaping. So those are the soft elements, the horticultural parts, and that
the earthy stuff.
The earthy stuff, yeah. But that's what a lot of people think about when they think about landscape design. But then hardscape is all of the non-living elements. So that can be anything from concrete, brick, stone, wood, walls, patios, things like that. Even like an outdoor kitchen can be that. And then also included with that is water features.
So hardscape can be like a patio deal with however you want to adapt that to your home.
Yeah, so we'll kind of get into that.
Okay.
Anything that is essentially not natural.
So many of our listeners, whether they understood or knew the term, they have that probably incorporated somehow on their property.
Yeah, I mean, even something like a wood chip or a gravel path or walkway, that would be considered a hardscape because it's not of the horticultural world variety.
Okay.
So the first one we can talk about going into that is walkways.
And walkways can be anything from, like you said, gravel to concrete to cobblestone to brick, fill in the blank, whatever you want to lay down, natural or man-made, that is a form of hardscape.
Yep. And so the purpose of a walkway is obviously for walking.
Designated area.
But it can also tie a property together, or it can separate them. Mm-hmm. So you can do something like, okay, this is my walkway to the garden, or this is my walkway to the vegetable garden,
or to the creek in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to and this is the red gravel goes to the creek, and then the green, I don't know if there's green gravel, but let's say there's green gravel and that goes to the garden.
Okay.
You can kind of separate it that way, or you can just
if it's yellow, it goes to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, to Emerald City.
Yeah, and that's a whole falsehood of its own, but that's
that's a horse of a different color.
And the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So another one is fences.
Yeah, so this is another case where fence is definitely, I mean, any of this is like
and this doesn't have to be a designation between, it can be, but not for the purpose of, that's my neighbor, you stay on that side, this is mine. You can incorporate fencing inside of your own perimeter as a differentiation between different areas of your geographical, your zones in your backyard.
I used to watch, I can't remember what show it was, but they had, it was a family that had a lot of pets, and they made a pet cemetery, and they had a nice little area for burying their pets.
If you've got that many pets, and I'm sure a lot of listeners do, but if you designate a part of your property as a cemetery, that's commitment.
Yeah, and it had like more of like a wrought iron,
an old-timey cemetery look.
Yeah, old-timey cemetery look.
See, on the farm, when we had one of those pass away, there's a portion in the back area where we just dug a hole, and that's where it's at.
So you had a pet cemetery, but it wasn't designated.
A couple of dogs, a couple of rabbits, some birds, some sheep.
Oh yeah, the sheep.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell any stories about the sheep? No. Okay. Yeah. So fences, aside from a pet cemetery, you can use it to designate a sitting area, a garden area, whatever. And you can even incorporate fencing with different soft elements, like maybe some shrubbery, maybe some trees, whatever. So that's an option. And then we also have
decks and patios.
And this is probably
most
commonly thought of when you think about hardscaping. A lot of people think about that part as the hardscaping. And so this is something that you can again just choose, whether it be like stone, pavers, wood, etc.
Even just a pounded gravel. Some people, the expense of a concrete or a brick patio, there's quite a level of expense. Some people can't afford that, so they bring in very nice gravel, and that they adapt that into their backyard patio.
Some people also just like the feel of the gravel, and then they'll put like a fire pit, and then that does give them kind of the camping feel,
Right.
And then they can enjoy that.
And a hardscape can be that campfire or that fire pit, whether it's natural or natural gas, or natural. You light it with a lighter fluid and wood.
Yeah.
Some people have propane or natural gas.
Propane and propane accessories.
Yeah, that's right, Bobby.
Yeah, so decks, patios, or some people call them a lanai, which is like...
Is that a French word?
I think it's like the Hawaiian word.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
I don't know. But there's a whole...
We do have listeners in Hawaii on the download, so there you go.
Right, and it was popular on Golden Girls.
Oh, okay. Was that? Okay.
Yeah. So the decks, patios, whatever, those are another hardscaping element. And then stairs. Now, most people might not have stairs, but if you have maybe like a slope, or if you live along a lake.
A transition from levels of on the property. Yeah.
Yeah, or like a river, live along some body of water, you might need to incorporate some stairs, and it might be something that you want because you don't want to have to like heave it up a hill.
Right. And the stairs, that's the personal preference. You can have them very elaborate or very simplified boards and holding the terrain back, or you can have very large stones or blocks of blocks of rock as your stepping mechanisms from transition from up to down.
I think that sometimes a lot of these, you could incorporate simply on your own, whether it be gravel or some sort of fencing or trees and bushes among fencing, etc. But then something like stairs is something you might want to hire, especially if you're going to go into the side of a hill or around the side of the hill. You might want to hire somebody for.
Also, there's probably permits that you have to get because of erosion concerns and all of the other HOAs and all these other things. But if you do it yourself, keep in mind, it's not like you see it on TV. We built a little patio with a planter. They did it on this old house in 15 minutes. It took us 7 days.
We built a patio?
No, back on the farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes, I had it done on the TV. We spent about 7 days working on that thing.
I was going to say, I don't remember building a patio with you.
No.
But sometimes I forget things.
Yeah, we could have built the patio. In 2013, you would never remembered, so there you go.
I think I remember that.
Oh, gazebos and...
a pergola.
Pergola.
Yeah, so this is something that brings an indoor element to the outdoors.
All right.
And it can protect you from possible rain or provide shade.
Add value to the property.
All of these things actually do add value to the property.
Right.
Yeah.
But a gazebo or a pergola is kind of a bigger stepping attribute to your property. And with a pergola, you can, if based on where you're at, your region, you can have things grow, vines and grow over top of it and create a living roof on your pergola.
Yeah. And you could even do, this isn't mentioned here, but I think it's part of hardscaping would be a small greenhouse or like an entertainment greenhouse. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine how that's not, because it is it's
a permanent fixture.
Yeah, it's a permanent fixture. Or just, if you do have a greenhouse, maybe use it in the spring for your plants, but then the rest of the year use it for...
Well, in the fall, it'd be a gathering spot. In the Midwest, Wisconsin Greenhouse Company, they do fabulous work on very eye-pleasing greenhouse features.
Yeah, absolutely. Can check them out. So then there's arbors. So arbors are, you might think, do you mean trees? No, arbors are basically like... I can't think of the word.
Arch, pergola.
Like an arch. Yeah, like an arch.
A pergola is typically 4 poles in most instances with a slanted roof or a slanted wood that goes high point to low. Arbors are more smaller and have a typically arch perspective that would go over a walkway.
How do you know so much about pergolas?
Why does that matter to you?
Because it's weird.
It's weird that I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, like I didn't know that you knew about pergolas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
You didn't remember doing a patio in 2013, so
well,
checkmate there.
Do you have a pergola somewhere that
No,
you're not talking about?
But we're just trying to draw a picture in the listener's mind of what a pergola and an arbors are.
Okay.
Because they're very different, and cost is very different as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But an arch is something that you may see leading into a fenced-in flower garden or a rose garden. So that's what I envision an arch, and having climbing roses over top of that archway as you're walking through the white picket fence.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
White picket fence.
Well, I don't know.
Did you want to like draw a plan up? Or?
No, I'm just saying.
All right.
So yeah, go ahead.
So we have those, and then an outdoor kitchen. I think you can kind of figure that out. It would be something where you have your grill space, and then
you can get elaborate. Have a refrigerator underneath the cook area. But
that's also part of hardscaping, and a lot of times people do get elaborate with them. And they are very pretty.
And especially in the northern portions of the United States, where you've got about 3.5 months of really nice weather, and people utilize every moment they can outside. They don't cook inside. They go outside every moment that they can and create, the outdoor kitchen dining experience because of the long, cold winters that we experience up here.
Absolutely. It's the, we're going to have dinner on the deck tonight, and that's perfectly fine.
What also is perfectly fine is what Walton's Incorporated has to offer for you, whether you are a camper or a kitchen cook or a butcher. Spices, seasoning tools, and everything in between, except for the meat.
Yeah, they have equipment, seasoning, supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat product your way to your high standards. You want to make snack sticks that people will actually like. Walton's created meatjustics.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. They even have a full line of meat grinders, mixers, sausage stuffers to help you go from animal to edible. Walton's everything but the meat. That's waltonsinc.com or meatjustics.com. You can use code GROW50, GROW50 to save 10% off your orders of $50 or more. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.